Hello, friends. So I don't mean to spread gossip, but I recently found out that my ex-girlfriend, Emily, just had her first child. Wow, she and I broke up less than a year ago, and I guess in that time she must have met somebody else and is now a proud mother? Well, actually, she and I are on very good terms, and I'm very happy for her. And as soon as I found out the news, I called her to congratulate her. And so actually the gossip is that during our conversation, she shared with me that she had learned the etymology of the word gossip while she was in labor at the hospital. Ooh la la, how salacious. Oh, I guess I should also mention that her current significant other, Ken, is, like me, a keen etymologist. I guess she has a type, right? And so while he was in the delivery room, he was talking with the godparents Emily had chosen for her newborn, who were also there. And apparently she overheard him talking about how the fact that they were all there talking idly while they waited for their newborn son and godson to enter the world was very appropriate from an etymological perspective, because, as it turns out, that is exactly how the word gossip came to be. How so? What is it about childbirth that engenders gossip? Well, as I recently learned, originally, gossip was what gossip was gossiped about while in the delivery room. And gossip was back in the days of Old English, pronounced godsib, which, if you go even further back, was a combination of two words, God and sib. Now, we probably recognize that first word, God, as in godparent, and we may also recognize the second word, sib, as in sibling. Now, back in the days of Old English, sib meant relationship, or in other contexts, peace, as in the Old English phrase, Bil sib betwixt you, or peace be upon you. That's interesting. I guess the double meaning of the word suggested that siblings were supposed to get along and deal with each other peacefully. Well, that's perhaps a little idealistic, but I like it. Anyway, a godsib denoted someone, like what we nowadays would call a godparent, who has become spiritually related to another person, like a newborn baby or its parents, by acting as a sponsor at baptism. Okay, well what does that have to do with childbirth and gossiping? Well, apparently, traditionally, all the present and future gossips would gather around for childbirth, while waiting for the birth to happen, and just talk about all sorts of things, including, well, the latest gossip, for lack of a better word, on all the other family members who weren't there. And so to be clear, it's important to remember that gossip isn't always true. For example, originally, gossips attending the birth of a new family member were mainly women, as indicated in the French word for gossip, commérage, from commère, or literally, together mother. What a juicy little tidbit. But that was how things were back in the day, and any rumor based on that information suggesting that only women can be gossipers is completely false. Nowadays, we know anyone can be a gossip monger, including me, who, to my great regret, have definitely been guilty of oversharing facts about myself, and sometimes others, over the years. So there we go, the rumors are true. Gossip is as old as human life itself, and surrounds you, quite literally, from the moment you're born. And so of course nowadays, society frowns upon gossiping, and I, having learned from my past mistakes, definitely try not to engage in it anymore, and, for the sake of being well-liked and trusted among your family and friends, recommend that you don't either. But if you must idly talk with family and friends about family and friends who aren't present with you in the room, then make sure you do so in a delivery room, while waiting for a new family member to enter the world. After all, that is, in line with the etymological tradition, the most appropriate place to do so. And remember, godparents will likely be in the room, as will the spirit that connects them to the newborn, and so, in that sense, God is in the room as well. And so, if you must share gossip about others while in the delivery room, remember, God is listening, and therefore, make sure to say something nice. Thanks for watching.